Hi everyone, welcome to the fourth part of the episodes, of the beginning of the episodes, where I'm going to cover all the basics of the Vedic astrology. And while we are sticking to that word Vedic astrology, I'm going to talk about your Vedic star sign, which is very different from your regular zodiac sign that you that you see according to your birth month, and it's very easy for you to see, like, okay, from this date to this date it is Taurus. From in October, end of October, or 23rd of October, the Libra changes to Scorpio. That is a very fitting of the square peg into the square hole style of zodiac calendar, and it's a sun calendar where 12 months, there's 12 signs, and everything fits in, and you're only looking at the sun direction and the sun, how the earth is positioned and aspecting the sun. However, that aspect is very fixated. The sun is a non-movable planet. It doesn't move while the solar system revolves, and hence it actually really narrows down how a zodiac sign can impact your life, because there's other things in the entire the planetary systems and the sky, the visible sky, that from which the Vedic astrology was created, the Milky Way, or the visible sky above you, and hence the Vedic star sign is completely different from your zodiac sign. There may be rare case where you might have the same one. However, it usually is not, because here you see the 27 constellations, or we call it the nakshatras, and you see this. You see how it's positioned during the time of your birth, place where you're born. So what's aspecting that place of birth currently, what's the sky above you currently, and the positioning of that of those constellations that is aspecting the earth, as well as the positions of the planets in that constellation, or transiting through that constellation at that time, when the planets are moving through the constellations at that time. So transitions matter, and that's when the houses matter, that in which house what is transiting and in which nakshatra it's located and situated in right now. And that's how your Vedic star sign is decided, when your ascendant, or the rising of the first house, whatever is the rising sign of the first house, is your Vedic star sign. So mine is number 4, and it goes anti-clockwise. Number 4 is Cancer, so I'm a Cancerian. However, I was born on 22nd of October. That makes me a Libran on the cusp of Scorpio. But when I try to see my traits closer to Scorpio, I have hardly anything that matches, but there is some Libra traits that matches. So you would be impacted by the sun aspects. Your zodiac sign would impact you about 20 to 30% of your life, but 70% would be heavily impacted by Cancer. Your mindset would be very Cancerian, so extremely emotional. Cancerians are ruled by moon, so the moon will affect the movements from the earth and the ocean, that the moon affects the ocean, and ocean is emotions, and the ebb and tide are your emotions. So Cancerians are highly emotional people, because they get aspected by the moon, and the ebb and tide, the gravity that it affects the earth. The gravity of the moon pulls like the oceans from the earth, and it goes into ebb and tide circles. So Cancerians are highly emotional people. However, we have the strength to rely on our emotions, that our emotions are not gonna really put us into trouble. A Cancerian can rely on an emotional intuition, that if they are feeling emotional towards something and intuitive, they might as well do it, and the emotional wouldn't fail them, because the emotions are the bigger part of a Cancerian. Similarly, if you are a Leo rising, which is number 5, or you're a Virgo rising, which is number 6, or you're a Libra rising, which is number 7, then things would start, then your personality will change. Leo is ruled by Sun, so then you are non-movable, you're very out there, strong-headed, making faster decision like a lion, and you usually like to lead the pride. You're a leader. You use less emotions, more practical aspects. You see that, okay, that this is my jungle and I'm the leader, and I'm going to make practical decisions, and I'm going to also observe the nature. I'm going to also observe my surrounding and make sure everyone's been looked after. Leo surrendered to the nature fast, that, hey, I can't control external things, so I'm going to control what I could with my strength. And that's how a Leo person would behave, but they're very confident about their strength, and they're very practical, and they surrender to nature, while Cancerians are very much like, emotional outbreaks, but they kind of have a rhythm in that chaos, and they can rely on their emotions. So that's how the rising sign works. So we can figure out what's yours with your birth. Again, your birth time, place. You need the minutes to minutes calculations, because every 2 hours the rising sign will change due to the transition. So make sure that you have times, minutes. Ask your parents if they can give you what hour and what minutes, and place of birth is super important. City is important. You don't need a hospital. So that's all that is important for me to even find out the D1 chart rising, and then the rest of the charts. There are 108 charts, but we're not going to talk about them right now. We're going to stick to your first chart, which is your birth chart. So thank you. We're going to move on to our next video. And before we do, if you love what you're listening to, please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.